Hello, my name is Sumana Moudgal, and I am a high school counselor in the US. For the past 10 years, I have worked in the public school system supporting students in a STEM-focused magnet program, which is a program for high-achieving students. I support students on everything right from academic issues to social emotional issues, and of course, we work a lot on the college application process. I also work with parents on issues that show up within the school setting for the student. Over the years, I think my role as a school counselor has changed some because I find myself focusing on social emotional issues much more these days. And what I see among students is most of the time is an inability to process what they're feeling, to be able to put a finger on what they're feeling and to articulate that. If they were to articulate that, it's a lot easier to work through the issues at hand and to kind of guide them and put them in a better place. But sometimes just the articulation and the processing of those emotions becomes difficult. And I bring all of this up because we are talking about the Read India celebration today. And I am thrilled to be a part of that process and to add my 2 cents to how reading helps develop the whole child, not just on the academic front. So I talked about some of the social emotional issues, the mental health issues that we deal with on the counseling front. And I think reading is an immensely powerful tool that allows students to put words to feelings and to help them articulate what they're feeling. And this comes from reading and just being able to describe events, describe things that are playing out around you, and use words to communicate. As children read and as they continue to read, they become stronger with the language and with being able to describe whatever it is, whether it's something they're observing or something that they're seeing. So I think reading is an incredible tool that helps with articulation. Also, what I really appreciate about the Read India Challenge is that it is not just encouraging students to read. And although there is tremendous value that comes from reading, reading is an integral part of everything we do, right from the K through 12 setting, all the way through to life. You know, even as an adult, you are reading constantly, whether you recognize it or not, or whether you're doing it consciously or not, to gather information and to process the world around you. So I think reading is extremely important. But more than that, I think that what reading does is it allows the assimilation of lots of different perspectives. And I think what the Read India Challenge is doing that I find so powerful is that it is not just encouraging students to read, it is asking students to read, to then reflect on what they're reading, and then to apply the knowledge that they've learned from reading and through that reflection to the situation around them. Just to give you an example, a couple of years ago, I introduced a program at our high school called Act to Impact. And Act to Impact was founded on the fundamental premise that if you ever hit a roadblock or you're facing a challenge, right, the only way to make that situation better is to do something about it. So the fundamental question that we ask students to ask themselves is, what am I doing about it? And that is also one of the tenets of the Read India Challenge, because not only are they encouraging students to read and asking them to reflect and have it make sense for themselves, but they're also asking students to apply it to a situation around them and to act upon that knowledge that they've gained. So if you look at what the Read India Challenge is doing, it is really empowering students with soft skills that will lay the foundation for their successes later on in life. So as we look at the entire program and what it aims to do, it is asking students to come up with solutions to issues that they see around them. And the only way you can do that in a way that's meaningful to you is by assimilating the world around you, learning from different entities, stepping out of your bubble and truly soaking in everything that the world has to offer from all the different corners, and then developing your own thought process that guides you and the decisions you make as you go forward. So one of the questions that was asked was, why should students read non-academic books? If you're looking for your child to step out of their bubble and truly soak in the world that is around them, it is really important for them to not just read, but also to expand on the genres that they're gravitating towards. If they stick with one genre, they're again just going down a rabbit hole. So it becomes almost our charge as parents to really encourage students to gravitate towards all kinds of genres, to read things that they're not familiar with and sometimes might be uncomfortable, because that is what helps the mind grow, and that is what helps them see things from another person's perspective, and it helps them stand in someone else's shoes when they're evaluating a situation. If you look at what has happened in the past 4 years in the US, I think one thing that is incredibly apparent to adults and children alike, I think, is that we have become